Welcome to the start of a new anime review series. This is Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. Yes, I am reviewing that series. The series I mainly decided to start reading and watching because there's a comparison between that and a series I actually enjoyed watching last year. Uzuki-chan Wants to Hang Out. I mean, well, there are some similarities, like, for example, a female lead who's kind of annoying to the main character, male lead of the series, where she is a year younger than he is, first in the manga as senpai, and she has like a little canine thing sticking out of her teeth. Yeah, but this woman's basically uniquely from Hana Uzuki. For one thing, she's a bit thinner than she is, and she's a lot younger. Like, this is basically early high school, where she is a freshman and he is a sophomore, thus making, well, the main character her senpai. Now, you're probably thinking, what the heck is a senpai? It's somebody who's a year older than you, and senpai is someone you should probably respect. That's my just basically the reasoning for it. And a lot of the time, he's only referred to as senpai. Heck, when I was reading the manga, that's the only name they called him. I'm like, really? He does have a name, which is not revealed until later. And here's something quite unique. No dub. Not yet, anyways, hopefully. Of course, they're watching on Crunchyroll, which is very much legal. Yep. Now, the Nagato herself basically is a very slender girl with dark skin. My guess is all of a suntan in Japan, obviously. And I think she's presumably, and this is my personal guess, I think she's about 14, I think she is. And of course, her senpai is like 15, 16-ish. He, of course, is an artist. Things starts up quite strangely enough. We see her and her friends giggling in the library. I would have thought, though, they were told to shush, but nope. I guess it's not necessary. Also, apparently, the library at his high school is very small. It's not like library you see here where it takes up a whole freaking building a lot of the time. Here it's just, let's just open up a sliding door and there's a library. It's almost like it's just a small room compared to even a school library, which is humongous. But that's probably Japan for you. So he goes basically does his homework, basically involving a lot of drawing. And of course, then he of course also acts very nervous around the girls. Yes. Of course, as later pointed out, though, he's a wuss. Yep, he is in fact a wuss. And of course, anytime any girl even just comes over to him, he's always like quite embarrassed. He's blushing a lot more than usual. And of course, Nagato starts teasing him. Of course, she doesn't reveal her name at the end of the first episode. Yes. Now, I should point out, though, in these episodes, by the way, I'm discussing the first 4 episodes of the series, which cover, the first episode covers the first 3 chapters of the series. Second episode covers chapters 4 to 6, 12, and bonus number 5. Yes, series of bonus stories, even side stories. They love expanding upon the series. And they're like maybe like 2 or 3 pages. 3 is basically chapters 10, 11, 17, 18, and side story number 2. Episode number 4 is 7 through 8, 19, side story number 1, and bonus story number 10. Yeah. So, she frequently teases him a lot in these episodes. Like, she'll do some stuff, and he, of course, will occasionally accidentally touch her. Like, one episode, a little smack type of thing, and instead of smacking her back, he actually smacks one of her breasts by just acting like back of the hand. And thank God it wasn't the face. That would be kind of stupid for the male character to slap the female lead of the series. I've seen that in a couple of anime I watched. But not this one, nope. And he acts very nervous around her. At one point, I think at the end of the first episode, he just actually just gives him a slight push. And apparently that caused him to start to roll and fall right into the river near the school. And she's like, man, you are light. Yes, he's a lightweight. And apparently he's been bullied since he was a kid. Probably because of how thin he is. Oh yeah, he constantly referred to as Miss the whole episode. She didn't like that very much. I thought it was creepy. Just call her Nagato, which is actually her last name. Later on, of course, he does meet her friends, and their names are, well, they've heard of basically on a fixie of Gemel-chan, basically a woman with big breasts, and she calls Senpai Patsun. There is Yoshi. And Sakura. Yeah, these two. Well, if you see them, like one of whom basically kind of looks like some characters I've seen in some other series, but the other one, not really. So they frequently, when they meet, I think it's in episode 2 or 3, he just was offered to sit down next to Nagato, and of course they think that he is her thinks he's Nagato's boyfriend. And he later claims that he's not her boyfriend, which, yes, it is in the manga too, so that's kudos for the fact they kept that in there. Oh, yeah, and also she would also come to his club room a lot of the time in these episodes, frequently asking him to model her. He did it the first time, and he apparently didn't do a good job. Second time he did a lot better. He did it actually in episode 4. Let's see. Oh, yeah. And apparently, whenever anybody tries bullying the senpai, Nagato gets angry at her friends for bullying somebody she's already bullying. Yep. Her friends don't really appear very much. There's another episode they appear in. This I thought was quite weird of an idea to do. Okay, let's have it where, because the fact the guy is, well, very much a clean-cut guy, let's have him grope the girls. Yep. Grope them. They want him to do it. He's not interested in doing that at all. And he's like, oh yeah, grab this. Oh, it's nice and soft. And not grabbing her breast, grabbing an 8-bomb. I'm like, okay. Yes, I know what this thing is. I've never had it before, but it's basically a bean sandwich. That's basically what this thing is. It's basically a sweet over there. And this is probably the first anime I come across with this thing in it since Gintama. And the last time I viewed it was 3 years ago. Yeah, that's something though. That this particular piece of bread does not appear for a lot of the anime I watch, but it appears in this series. Okay. Also, it's pointed out though by Nagato that the senpai frequently draws objects like fruit, tongs, but not people. Probably because he's not good at it. He does finally succeed at drawing her at the end of episode 4. It doesn't look that bad. He says basically made a lot of mistakes. And it looks not that bad of a sketch. Oh yeah, and by the way, she had also brought the couch from the crafts room. Because they apparently didn't need it anymore. So he just brought it to his club room. Now the club room looks like a normal classroom. Like, he apparently gets his room all to himself. Like, for apparently someone who has a club room, he has no members aside from himself. I would say Nagato herself does join the group, does join the club not long into the series, but anybody else? Nope. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, at one point they're running home from school, and they both get wet from the rain, and they ask like, where do you live? Like, I live like far away from where they were. That's what he says, and he's like, why don't you go to my house? It's quite nearby. And they get to her house, and like, oh look, it's her parents' shoes. But she points out though her parents not home, and then she gives them a clean clear of clothes. Apparently she's got a big brother who, as far as I remember reading, as far as I went to the manga, he doesn't show up at all. And by the way, they do make a slight change from how the parents look in the manga compared to the anime. In the anime, the faces are not, let's say, shown. They're part of the face is sort of in silhouette. In the anime, they kind of wear like a disguise because the senpai has never seen their parents at all. So, and he's like, "Oh," and she's like, "Oh, you're in a girl for the first time." He's like, "Want to do it?" And he's like, "No." And he's about to do something, and then it's like, "Oh yeah, why don't we just play some video games?" And pretty much play a version of what looked like Mortal Kombat, where it's basically fantasy characters. He wins the first game, and then she wins the second game. They play for a while, and then he goes home. Yep. Trying to think what else though. Oh yeah, he's also had, like an episode, like a story. Yeah, a lot of the time these are like a series of skits, like series of short stories. A lot of the time, which I always got to praise the fact that a lot of this is pretty faithful to the source material. Yep. Even though that issue, if you read the chapters of the manga, they're really short. Like they're shorter than normal chapters. And here's the thing: these episodes are pretty much normal length. Unlike another anime I watched, which was My Wife is the Student Council President. I like that one, where each episode was like, I think it was like just about 10 minutes. Yeah, it was really short. I managed to get through that series in just a day. That's how short the thing was. Excuse me, I think I got through this like 2 years ago. Yeah. Excuse me, that was another series that wasn't dubbed yet. Though that they announced a dub for that one, but it had not been released yet. I don't know if it has or not. Yep. I'm trying to think, was anything else that happened in these episodes? Well, yeah, and a lot of these ones basically are split stories. Yeah, like the first episode is Senpai is a bit, and the other one is second one is Senpai do you get angry? Yeah, that's the title of the first episode. Yeah, each episode is basically a split thing. Second one, you got your wish, Senpai. Oh, okay, this one. Where he basically got this new volume, this vampire manga that's got fan service. And he's like, "Oh, you're a pervert. You like fan service." And then of course, like they see, she sees a scene where, oh, the main character is groping a female character on the breast, and they trip over, and she ends up basically grabbing his groin by accident. Oh yeah, she also says he smells like garlic. Yeah, interesting one. This one here. Yep. Also, the one thing I should point out about the character, female lead, she looks a lot like Lulu. I think it's Lala from from the To Love Ru series. Yeah, it looks a lot like that character. Which I don't know if the artist of this series was a fan of To Love Ru, so they basically used the basis of that character. Yep. Okay. Yeah, the other ones are Let's Play It Again, Senpai. And Over Here, Senpai. Yeah, Let's Play It Again. It simply puts Nagato stripping for him in the club room, and it turns out she's wearing some suit. Yep. Not the first time. Of course, later on, that they do, in fact, well, I should point out that they actually do call back this in a later story when she gets wet. Like, oh, you wore some suit? No, it's her actual underwear. Yeah. It's just not that really interesting. Well, it's really odd to say the least. Oh yeah, by the way, the thing in the little comedy sketch where he basically like smacks her breast, and in the very next episode, like kind of do it again. This time with the ampoms, and after they finish like, well, feeling the thing, and he feels like one ampom is like, oh, like he closes his eyes like, oh, it's nice and soft. And he grabs the other one. Of course, the ampom on uncovering her breast falls out of her shirt, and he ends up groping her by pure accident. It's like, oh, and then she just smacks him with an ampom, and then she eats it. Yep. And after the whole thing with the sketch, it's like, oh, it was a reward. A kiss from her? No, a toy. Yep. Yeah, kind of a weird series. I like Uzuki-chan wants to hang out where that's pure fun. This is just weird at best. Where, like, a lot of the time, I have never come across this where the main character is this much of a wuss. I mean, my God, this guy's a coward. And the female lead is, well, always constantly teasing him. Like, I would say it's a little more harassment in this one than it is over in Uzuki was saying, at least in the case of that one. Sakura actually tolerates it. Here, he just basically thinks just common bullying. Yeah. There's even like one episode where she goes to like a restaurant with her friends, and like the guy is like really interested in her, and of course goes with Nagato-chan. And it turns out, yeah, his stuff basically not. He's not interesting. He's boring, so he goes away. Yeah. Not really much else to say about these episodes. They're okay. I do got praise the animation. It actually is pretty good here. I don't think this is maybe the same studio. No, this is made by Telecom Animation Film. I don't think. No, this company did not work on Uzaki Was Hang Out. They worked on Lupin Third, Part 4 and 5. Yes. Hmm. I don't think that. No, this person basically didn't exactly work on that one. No, not really. Yeah. Very similar art style, though.
Mom's home now. She never called me to make some. So I don't know what she's up to.
Okay.
Well, she decides we need to go out to eat tonight, but I wasn't planning that, so we'll see.
Okay. Anyways, yes. Kind of a weird series. Mainly I got into it because the similars Uzaki Tomo's Hangout. This one is very similar to that. But at least Uzukachi was actually a lot more interesting. This one basically just like sadistically torture him. Well, not with actual objects per se, just basically verbally abuse him. Yeah, but time will tell basically about this one. I now here's the thing: there are about 3 more episodes left to go, and I'll be up to date with the series. As for when in the world, now apparently that looks like though that the next episode's airing Sunday. So, well, that means I got 5 anime to talk about on Sunday. Yes, 5. Though this one's not coming around for too much longer. No, not really. No, it's not. I would probably say that this one, well, by the time I catch up with it, I'd probably be there for about 5 weeks. And then basically back down to 4 again. Yep, my guess is by the end of next month, basically, we finish with this particular series for the moment. Yep. So yeah, that's a particular review. Stay tuned for my review for the 7 Deadly Sins and another one of this series. And that's it for today. And tomorrow, expect some reviews from New York because I'm going to New York tomorrow, okay? See you next video. Bye. It's like, apparently Dad didn't notice I was recording this. Okay.